Many people still think that pop music is born in the West and we're just running behind, trying to catch up with the trends. But what if it's actually the other way around? What if it's the whole world that listens to us and copies us? Don't believe it? Well, I'm going to prove it to you. Carol of the Bells is actually our Shkedrik. Pink Floyd revamps Chervona Kalina. Kalash shows that folklore can win on the biggest music stage in Europe. Today, we're going to break down how the world picks up the Ukrainian musical formula, where it finds inspiration, where it adapts, where it accidentally lands on very similar intonations, and where it crosses into the territory of plagiarism. As paradoxical as it may sound, music is first and foremost mathematics. Rhythm, repetition, key, intonation, pause, tension, and resolution. What seems to us like just a beautiful sound actually works as a formula. And Ukrainian folk melodies have a very recognizable formula. As early as the 19th century, ethnographers noted that Ukrainian music has a distinctive melodic expression. In studies, particularly those associated with the Polish ethnographer Oskar Kolberg, the Ukrainian melos is described as being distinct from many neighboring traditions and less commonly found in Western Europe. We won't delve into musicological details, but the essence is this. The complex use of minor modes, recitative style, and dramatic intonation give Ukrainian ritual songs, havki, vesnyanki, and dumi, a sense of tension. It's not just a sad song, it's dramaturgy within the melody. That's why the Ukrainian motif can sound both very ancient and very modern at the same time. Because modern pop music also thrives on tension, on repetition, on a short hook, on the feeling that something is about to explode. And let's start with the main global case. Most people in the world know this melody, but not everyone is aware of its Ukrainian origin. Carol of the Bells is that very melody, without which it's impossible to imagine Christmas. But its foundation is our Shkedrik by Mykola Leontovich. On October 5, 1922, it was performed at Carnegie Hall during the tour of the Ukrainian Republican Kapella under the direction of Oleksandr Koshits. This project was considered the first example of Ukrainian cultural diplomacy. The English-language lyrics for Carol of the Bells were created by Peter Wilhowsky in 1936. After that, the Ukrainian melody began to live on as a Christmas standard for the whole world. According to Who Sampled, Carol of the Bells has 34 samples and 134 covers recorded. This is not a complete catalogue of all performances in the world, but it is the minimal visible trace in popular music. That is, the Ukrainian Shkedrik lives not only in choirs, Christmas commercials, and holiday playlists, it enters pop, R&B, hip-hop, club music, and even cinema. And this is not the only old example. The Ukrainian song Yikav Kozak za Dunai became known in German-speaking culture as Shon Minka. Beethoven arranged it in his cycle of folk songs, and in catalogs it is listed as a Ukrainian or Cossack melody. Another case is the American song Yes, My Darling Daughter. It was based on the Ukrainian folk melody Oi Nekodi Hritsyu. In other words, Ukrainian tracks have been migrating around the world for a long time, just often without a big sign saying Made in Ukraine. And if you're interested in exploring Ukrainian culture through facts, figures, and the mechanics of influence, subscribe. Because later in this series, we'll break down why Ukraine often captures the world's attention precisely thanks to its image. Well, now let's return to modern melodies. After the band Onuka performed during the Eurovision 2017 Interval Act, the project received a wave of international attention. Western media described the performance as a blend of folk, brass, and techno energy. At that moment, Ukrainian folk instruments sounded like instruments of the future. And in 2018, the Ukrainian band Kazka released an English version of their hit Plakala, which climbed to 8th place in the global Shazam chart. Yet, one of the strongest Ukrainian instruments is not even the sapilka or the bandura, it is the white voice. A traditional singing style with an open throat, a loud, clear, chesty, direct sound that seems to pierce through space. Such a voice was created for the field, for rituals, for spring, for weddings, funerals, and the community. And when, in 2021, Goe brought this type of vocal to Eurovision with the track Sham, for many people in Europe, it sounded like futurism. Ukrainian language, the logic of spring songs, various folk vocals, a sopilka riff, and an almost rave-like tempo. At that time, Go Away took 5th place in the contest. Well, that's closer to the truth, but their Shum topped the Spotify Viral 50 for 10 days and debuted on the Billboard Global 200. It was their performance that started the trend of performing in native languages at Eurovision. Go Away's success showed that your own can dominate in televoting. That's why even today, international delegations are increasingly returning to their native languages. Another proof that Ukrainian folklore can work as a global sound is Daka Braka. Their music was featured in the 3rd season of the series Fargo and in David Beckham's promotional videos. In other words, ethno energy has entered Western pop culture, advertising, and the TV series industry. And Alyona demonstrated another direction, the Ukrainian language as a rhythmic system. In 2021, she became one of the winners of the Music Moves Europe Talent Awards and received the Public Choice Award. The European Commission noted that fans from all over the world voted for this victory at the time. And now let's move on to cases where inspiration borders on plagiarism. In 2026, Shakira and Burna Boy released Day Day, the official song of the FIFA World Cup 2026. The release came out on May 14th, and after that, the Ukrainian audience began comparing the hook of Day Day to Ta Tantsiami by Navka. There is no direct evidence that Shakira consciously copied Navka, but the similarity is interesting from a musical perspective. Both tracks work through a dance-like exclamation that immediately makes you want to move. Tatansi is built around a folkloric dance energy, where the word sounds almost like a command to dance. Day Day also relies on repetition, percussion, and the feeling of a massive festival movement. So the formula that Ukrainian ethnopop has long used naturally now sounds absolutely global, even in a track for the World Cup. And another interesting point concerns Delta Goodrem and Irina Bilic. In May 2026, Bilic publicly compared her song about love with Delta Goodrem's track Eclipse, which represented Australia at Eurovision 2026. Bilic pointed out the similarity in the beginnings of the compositions and raised the question, is this plagiarism or not? There is no court decision, nor any official acknowledgement of borrowing. Here, we're talking about the Ukrainian pop ballad school. For Bilic, it's the melodicism of emotional fracture, an intimate beginning, a gentle, dramatic intonation, and a build-up to a big chorus. And when a similar logic appears in a Eurovision ballad, it's already a reason to say that Ukrainian pop music of the 1990s and 2000s had melodies that can still sound relevant today. Well, the biggest scandal happened in 2025. At that time, Tina Karol stated that the Vietnamese singer Ho Quyen Huong had adapted or rather performed her song Pupsik without permission. Regarding this, Karol publicly wrote that she needed an international intellectual property lawyer. According to media reports, Ho Quyen Huong also performed Ruslana's Wild Dances. However, regarding this case, the Vietnamese singer stated that she had purchased the rights for Vietnam back in 2006. But Tina Karol's claims are based specifically on permissions, rights, and the international music industry. And there's another example where everything looks much more straightforward. The Russian track Potansuy So Mnoy repeated the melody of the Ukrainian hit Enkarapista by the band Drevo. After the team's appeal, the track was blocked on international digital platforms, and the producer of Drevo explained that it was not just about the phonogram, but specifically about the copyright to the melody. Here, the track didn't just remind someone of a Russian release. The Drevo team was able to prove the violation at the level of digital distribution. But alongside copying, there are also honest examples of adaptation. In 2022, Pink Floyd released Hey Hey Rise Up featuring the vocals of Andriy Klivnyuk from Boombox. At its core was his performance of Oh the Red Viburnum in the Meadow on Sofiyska Square in Kyiv. The American music publication Pitchfork wrote that this was the first new original music from Pink Floyd since The Division Bell, and the proceeds were directed toward humanitarian aid for Ukraine. Robert Del Naja from Massive Attack made a charity remix of Sviatoslav Vakarchuk's Obey The funds were directed through the Legacy of War Foundation. Ed Sheeran and Antitila released a Ukrainian version of Two Step. According to the band, YouTube monetization and royalties were directed to Music Saves UA. So, in some cases, Ukrainian sound enters global culture through honest collaboration, in others through adaptation, sometimes through suspicious similarity, and sometimes through blatant copying. But it's nice to see that overall, world music is moving toward local languages, genres, and hybrid forms. Just imagine at that same Eurovision 2026, 25 languages were performed. After 2022, there was also a sharp shift within Ukraine itself. According to the study Music Has Power, which was cited by the Ministry of Culture, the share of Ukrainian language music in Ukrainian consumption grew from 33% in 2022 to 57% in 2025. So Ukrainian music very clearly demonstrates that a local identity does not hinder global success. Moreover, the Ukrainian sound works because it immediately provides what global production often tries to artificially imitate: drama, memory, and tension. This is the difference between kitsch and a living culture. Kitsch takes a symbol and turns it into a souvenir. Living culture takes a symbol and launches it into a new context. That's why Ukrainian music is not trying to catch up with the world. The world has simply finally reached the point where what has always existed in Ukrainian sound is genuine emotion. Subscribe if you're interested in exploring culture as a living system that is already influencing the world. Like this video and write in the comments which Ukrainian track, in your opinion, should have become a global hit long ago. In the next video, we'll break down how we conquered the West, why Ukrainian culture suddenly became trendy, and why global media, brands, artists, and audiences started seeking out all things Ukrainian. And is this just a brief flash or the beginning of a major cultural trend?